Okay, recorded. All right. Hey, good to see you guys. Where do I vote at? That has been the question because of the redistricting. Myself and Patrick, we are here to share just that type of information with you. This is brought to you by North Flint Neighborhood Action Council. That's Patrick's group. Flint Neighborhood United, that's mine. Then there's Black Voters Matter, that's all of us. And Michigan Nonprofit Organization. We want to thank them for all of this to educate us. Today we're going to talk about voting dates, absentee voting. We're going to provide you with some up-to-date information. Your voter registration, make sure we want everyone to be registered to vote, and your voting rights. We're gonna let you know where your voting location will be, how to find that information, and the do's and don'ts. We'll also provide you with sample ballots, and we're gonna show you how to get this information using your phone. I'm gonna pass it over to Patrick now. Patrick.
Thank you so much, Carmen. And thank you for the folks with Flint Neighborhoods United, Black Voters Matter, MNNA, and of course, the North Flint Neighborhood Action Council. We truly appreciate the opportunity to always share and to represent our organization as well. So what I always like to start off with is the things that you think everybody knows, and that's the voting dates and times. So guess what, y'all? This coming Tuesday, we get a chance to exercise our rights, and we get to vote next Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022. The polls open at 7 a.m. and they close at 8 p.m. And that's for the primary election. The general election is always the first Tuesday in November. And this one will be, the second Tuesday in November, and it'll be Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. And the polls open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We always want to make sure that you start getting those dates, lock them in. We need you at the polls. One of the things that we are nonpartisan. We're not asking you who you vote for. That doesn't matter to us as much as you exercising your right and having your voice be heard. All righty. So, all right, just wanted to make sure I had the right screen coming up. So, let's start with absentee voting. Many people asked for their absentee ballots, and they may have received them already, but they didn't get a chance to turn them in yet. It is too late to turn in absentee ballots by mail. Please do not mail your absentee ballot in. If you have not submitted it is still time. You have to return your signed absentee ballot by hand or drop box. You turn it in to the City of Flint clerk's office by 8 p.m. on election day. If you live outside of the area, it's the same system, maybe different places. If you're in the Burton area, you drop it off at the Burton clerk's office. If you're in the township, you drop it off at the Flint Township office. Same way with Mount Morris Township, you drop it off at their offices, just to make sure that you exercise your right. Again, it has to be signed, has to be filled out, has to be turned in, and you have to be the one to turn in your ballot. Please, we don't want anyone speaking evil of your good. Take the time, turn in your own ballot. All right, so, well, where do I find the most up-to-date information about what's going on? Well, the state of Michigan has done an outstanding job creating this website that we ought to take a look at. And the website is www.michigan.gov/vote. From that website, you can get samples of voting ballots for your area, because you will actually put in your address, so it'll be your ballot that you'll be able to look at. It'll tell you where your polling location is and other pertinent information that could really help you. The state did an outstanding job on this website. Please, if you need to go to www.michigan.gov/vote. And just like Karma said, this is very accessible if you even use your cell phone to pull it up. you'll be able to access it and see it very well. So please, if you don't remember anything else, remember that you can go there to find your sample ballot, to find your polling location, to know what ward you in, and where you vote at. All right, just want to make sure that folks understand. Now, I want to talk a little bit about voter registration and voter rights. So Michigan is now a same-day registration state, which means you are eligible to vote if you are the following by election day: a U.S. citizen, a Michigan resident for at least the last 30 days, 18 years of age, and not currently serving a sentence in jail or prison. Let me be clear, a sentence. Later on, I'll go into more detail about this, but those are all the things that you would need to have to simply be able to register and to vote. Please do not let someone think that it's too late. It's not too late. You can go down to the clerk's office right now and get registered to vote. Go to your clerk's office and fool the mess out of them and go get registered to vote. All right? So now, what do you need to take with you as you go and you prepare yourself for? Well, here are some of the things you need to do. You, again, like I said, they allow same-day registration. So you go to the city of Flint's clerk's office, Mount Morris, Burton's, Flint Township, wherever you need to go. Bring with you your state of Michigan driver's license or state-issued ID. Bring a utility bill, a cable bill, a cell phone bill, something that has been issued in the last 90 days. You could bring a bank statement, a pay or government issued check that documents the address in which you live, or some other form of governmental documentation. It could even be an ID from a college. We just need something to help us identify and know that the person is you. You bring those things with you, you go down to the clerk's office, and they will get you registered same day. So please, if you have not registered, make sure to do so. Also, please remember this, y'all. Now Michigan has made it so easy for you to actually get registered. When you update your driver's license or your state ID, you are automatically given a voter registration card now. So only way you don't get it is if you opt out of it. So please don't opt out, stay in and make that an easy way. So that way, when you get your new license or ID, you're updating your addresses so you know where you need to vote at, and you will exercise your rights, because we need you voting. We need you participating in this process. Now, here's another thing that may be a little different or may not have been widely known, is that returning citizens can vote. Once you're released from prison or jail, your rights to vote have been restored. So you can vote, right? You can still be on probation or parole, and guess what? You can vote. While in prison or in jail awaiting arraignment or trial, guess what? You can vote. I have to give credit to the folks, to the ambassadors from the Ignite program and Sheriff Swanson doing such a great job at the Genesee County Jail, having candidate forums and different things. You can vote if you're incarcerated. So if your loved one is incarcerated or recently released, let them know that they need to play a part in this process to help bring change, the change our community truly needs. We need more people voting, not less. Okay? So you can have a past conviction. It doesn't matter. You get your voting rights back. There's only one person who cannot vote, and that is, if you cannot vote if you are currently serving a sentence right now. So if you've been not your arraignment, not that during the trial, but when you've been found guilty and you have to begin to serve some type of time, then you cannot vote. Other than that, you are eligible to vote, and we want to see more and more of our brothers and sisters, returning citizens, doing just that, exercising their right and voting. Okay? A couple other things, y'all. I want to talk a little bit about voting location, polling places, and some do's and don'ts, y'all. You know, a lot of times don't nobody tell us about the do's and the don'ts. So let's do this. Always check your registration and find your polling place. Remember, it will be attached to your ID. Because of redistricting, there have been some changes to some polling locations. There have been some changes to the way the ward lays out. So you may have been Ward 2 before, you might be Ward 1 now. You might have been Ward 1 and now you're Ward 3. We don't know. We just know that the boundaries shifted based on the population. And what that means is that we have to make sure we know where we vote. So the easiest way, if you don't already have your new voter registration card, is to go to www.michigan.gov/vote. Put your information in and it'll pop up, it'll populate, and it'll let you know where you vote, what ward you're voting in. And like I told you before, you can get a copy of the sample ballot, which we're going to show you as we go forward. Please remember that. Secondly, please bring photo identification with you. We do realize that there's a way that they can give you a provisional ballot if they can't verify your identification, but provisional ballots are not counted on that same day, or they're not counted like an absentee ballot is. And because they still have to go and do verification, and by that time, a person who's going to be elected probably would be. So let's just make it easy. Bring a photo ID with you so that you can go ahead and make sure that your vote counts today. On November the 8th and on August the 2nd, make sure it's that day that you get to do what you need to do. Secondly, if you are handicapped or have a disability, please request to use the voter assist terminal. Every polling place has one. Just ask the people there in the polling place to let you know where it is, and they'll be more than happy to get you to where you need to be if you're not able to stand long, or if you have some other issues where you need assistance with. We just want to make sure that the voting experience is not cumbersome and it's something that truly, truly helps you to participate, because we all want that sticker. Third, next thing, maintain the secrecy of your ballot. So once you complete your ballot, please make sure that you stick it back in the sleeve, and then don't pull it out until you get ready to deposit it in the machine. I'm not saying that somebody can see you, but we always believe that the polling place is your business. If you want to share with somebody about that, you may, but you don't have to, right? If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. And then finally, y'all, have a plan to vote, right? Don't just take it for granted that it's going to work. Have a plan. So here's the plan, y'all. How you gonna get there? Okay, when to go? When you gonna go? Because again, you may have to be to work at 6 o'clock, and you might not be able to get in during that time. You may have other issues going on, so that your daycare, other issues. So you want to just make sure that you create the space for you to go and vote when you need to, and know who to vote for before you get there. And that's why it's such a blessing that they give us these sample ballots, that we can now prepare ourselves and not just walk in there cold, not saying that we didn't see the ballot. And again, we're going to show you several iterations of the ballot just so that you can see what's happening in your neck of the woods. All right. All right. So you know where there's always some do's, there's definitely some what, y'all? Some don'ts. First thing, and this is the biggest thing, and this is the same thing that this comes from the clerk's office to me. Don't split your vote, not during the primary. In the primary, you must vote all Democrat or all Republican. You can choose which one you want to pick, but you only can pick one. If you start off Democrat, all the people that you select have to be Democrat. If you start off Republican, all the people you vote for have to be Republican. And if you cross them up, then you will have spoiled your ballot and it will not be counted. So please remember that in the primary, you have to vote one party. But in a general election, you can vote for whomever you please. So remember, we're in the primary now, so you have to either vote all Democrat or all Republican. All right. Second thing, don't speak to anyone who says they're a poll watcher or challenger. You're not required to say anything to anyone, and they're actually not required to say anything to, or they shouldn't be saying anything to you. They can watch, they can make sure there's no abnormalities or anything going on, but they should not stop you from exercising your right. However, in this hyper-partisan era we live in, people want to just make sure things are being done decently. And just so y'all know, voting is one of the safest things that we do in this country. We do actually voting very well. Next thing, do not leave the polling place without voting. We know that the polls close at 8 o'clock. However, if you're in line and you haven't had a chance to vote, stay. As long as you're in line, they will give you the right to vote. It isn't that it closes at 8, polls close at 8, but what it really means is polls close when the last person who got there before 8 completes their ballot. That's a better way of saying how it works. And then finally, y'all, and I know this may be rocket science for some. Don't allow anyone else to cast your ballot. Please, in a time where people are looking for reasons to say that the process is flawed or broken, go vote for yourself. And if you need to turn in your absentee ballot, go with the people who turning it in. So that way it's your hand that puts it in that box or your hand that passes it to that clerk. Okay? And then finally this, y'all, report any voter intimidation, harassment, or coercion you witness to an election worker, or you can call the Nonpartisan Election Protection Hotline at 866-OUR-VOTE. If anything happened that's out of the ordinary, make that call. Make that call or tell the people there at the poll. It shouldn't be, but you never know. You always have to be mindful. All right. Now I'm going to step out of this for a second. I'm going to stop my share here, and I'm going to pull up a couple of sample ballots to show what a ballot is looking like. So we chose a couple of different ones so that we made sure that we had an array. So this ballot comes from Flint Township. And as you see right here, you have the Democratic Party on the left and the Republican Party on the right. Pun intended, y'all. Okay, so as you see, you get a chance. If you're voting Democratic, you can vote. There's only one person you can vote for governor, one person you can work for Congress. You have several people that you can vote for state senator. You have several people you can vote for state legislature. Here's who your county commissioner choices are. There's only one person, I believe, running for Flint Township clerk. And you have a couple of people that you can vote for the Democratic County Convention. And then we have our nonpartisan section. Please don't forget to do this, right? So while you can vote all Democrat or all Republican, after you get done with those parts of the ballot, now you're in your nonpartisan section. And here's how we pick who is going to be the person that goes up for a judge. And then here are our 3 choices right here. And I think the top 2 move on to the general election. And then finally, I think there's 2 more things. In the Genesee County Parks and Recreation millage is on the ballot. You might want to take a read of this and understand what this means. Don't just vote yes or no, read it and see what it says. And then finally, Flint Township has an operating millage renewal proposal that's up on the ballot, right? So that's what a ballot looks like for the township, right? Remember, vote all Democratic, all Republican until you get to the nonpartisan part of the ballot. Then you select one person for judge and you say yes or no as it pertains to the millages that are on the ballot, okay? All right, so I'm gonna stop share on that one. And then I'm gonna pull up my, pull up the next one. Okay. All right, just a moment, y'all. I thought I had them up, but it looked like I didn't. Okay, so I will share my screen again. Just one moment. Well, I'm hitting everything but what I want to touch. All right, here we go. So we're going to share a ballot now that's from Ward 7 inside the city of Flint. And this particular ward is Ward 7, and this person would vote in precinct 48. And just so y'all know, the city of Flint does have a list of voting locations. And just to tell y'all that we know, precinct 48 votes in the Mott Community College Event Center, 1401 East Court Street. Just to let you know that we really were prepared to help folks if you needed to know where you needed to vote. And as you can see, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, everything stays the same until we get to a representative in the state legislature. Many of you know that this isn't the number that we had in the past, but based on redistricting, most of Flint is now in the 70th district. And here are the 4 people that are running on the Democratic side for that office. And you see on the other side, here are the 2 people who are running on the Republican side for the 70th district. And you see the same thing for the state senator. You see in the congressional side, we only have 1, but we have 3 on the Republican side. Okay. And then we see for our county commissioner, we have 1 person who's running in the on the Democratic side and 1 person running on the Republican side. Same thing and only 1 person running to be a delegate for the county convention. Again, Flint has some additional things that the township does not have. You see that in the nonpartisan section, you see that you have 3 people running for judge, just like they did in the township. However, the city of Flint is voting for a mayor, and there are 3 candidates running for mayor. I believe they're listed in alphabetical order. Eric Mays, our 1st Ward City Councilman and Council President. Sheldon Neely, our current mayor, and Karen Weaver, our past mayor. So those are the 3 people that you get to choose from. You can only choose 1. The top 2 candidates move on to the general election. And then finally, the same park and rec millage that was in the township also speaks to us as well. So that's the one proposal, I believe that's on the Flint ballot, right? So again, the ballots are a little different, but not that much. And again, you have a chance to do your research prior to you stepping into the polling location to make sure you know who and why, or better yet, why you're voting for who. So if you don't know who Mary Hood is, or Rebecca Jerva Bryn, or Dawn Wire, I think you should find out. Find out what they stand for. What are some of their past practices have been? Same way with the mayor. Same way with any of these people who are running for office. Find out who they are and why you should vote for them. Make your own decision. Don't believe the 30-second TV spot. Do your due diligence. And again, remember, you're voting for you. But at this time, remember, if I'm voting Democrat, I got to vote all Democrat. If I'm voting Republican, I got to vote all Republican. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to jump back into the PowerPoint. Give me 1 second. All right, so we showed you the sample ballots. And now this is where we would ask if you had any questions or answers, or if some of our esteemed colleagues who are with us just have a thought or wisdom that they want to leave with our people who are going to watch this for us. So anything you want to leave with them, Karma?
Yes. Take somebody to the poll with you. Woo. Take your children to the poll. Show them that process. So by the time they hit 18, they will be ready to vote. Go pick up your mom, pick up your grandma. This is time for families to come together to get out there and vote. Don't forget your brother, your cousin, whoever that is, who has a felony, let them know they can also vote. If you haven't registered, go down there to the city hall, make sure that happens. And michigan.gov/vote. You can also go there to find out if you are already registered.
All right. Thank you so much, Karma. I also see we have Athena from Flint Innovative Solutions. Athena, is there something that you would love to give these folks as we look at this voting process? What would you like to share with them?
Thank you, Patrick. This is a tremendous resource. Thank you, Karma, for your insight as well. The one thing that I would add is to be prepared. As Patrick said, find out where your voting location is ahead of time. Don't wait for the day of. We know it's so important for everyone to get out and vote. Be prepared, do your research, and make the best choice for you and your family. Please vote.
Wow. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate your help. Well, that's all we got for you folks. We just, again, remember, we're not telling you who to vote for. We just telling you to play a part in this process. We need you to play your part. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach me at director@northflintnac.org, director@northflintnac.org, and I'll connect you with Karma or Athena or any other information that we can do to help you. If you need a phone number, 810-219-9515. 810-219-9515. Be happy to help. All right, folks, have yourself a great day. And as always, my mother always told me to make sure I say this if I don't say nothing else. Thank you. Have a great day, folks. Blessings.